Hi Gemini, welcome to your Harsh Truth reading. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. Page of Wands. Okay, so maybe you have children, Gemini, and they're on your mind. This would be a fire sign or someone with heavy fire in their chart. Doesn't have to be. Could be the spirit of child as far as like being inquisitive and impulsive and scurrying around and just excited for life and having interest and passion for everything and everyone. Or it could be you having beginning interest or enthusiasm, having the exploratory spirit. Maybe a new interest is coming along for you. King of Cups, Eight of Wands or rods in this deck, the Tower, Five of Rods reversed, the Devil reversed, Knight of Swords. All right. So, you want this to be about emotional balance. This situation, you're wanting it to be about emotional balance, about somebody who is capable of compassion and emotion and being emotionally generous, or you want the situation to be fair and just and loving and compassionate. You don't want there to be movement or change, possibly. And yet there is on a grand scale. We're going to clarify some of this. Five of Wands. Okay, so Five of Rods or Five of Wands reversed. You want there to be an end to the fighting. Can we just avoid any kind of harsh words? Can we just get back to being kind and compassionate? Wow, you don't want this. There's a fear of change here. There's not. Wait a minute. For some reason I saw this as a Tower reversed. I'm like, wait, what? How? Yeah, this is breaking free. This is change. This is being jailbroke. This is power reclaimed, having mastery over that which used to control you, not being addicted anymore, not being held captive anymore, not being in a unhealthy situation where you feel bound and trapped. Wow. Okay, so after this shakeup, what's going to happen is you're going to be loaded for bear. You're gonna get busy. You're gonna be taking charge somehow. Okay, so let's get into this. So Gemini, you want this loving, compassionate either relationship, or you want the person you're dealing with to be loving and compassionate and fair and balanced. You don't want movement or change. Why? Maybe things have just calmed down and you're like, hey, can we just... Okay, so you don't want this to go back to the... That's why I said fear change. Because you don't want... This is what I was thinking. I'm looking at this thinking it was a Tower reverse, but then it was actually this right here. That's why. Okay. So that's all right. This Eight of Wands, this speaks to movement, forward movement, things happening in rapid succession. And we've got a third-party situation here, or something that is taking someone away from their relationship. Most of the time, it's about another person being, on the down low. But in this sense, it could be something else like work or a wanderlust, always keeping away from home, or just family involvement, just anything that could be getting in between you and a committed relationship. Typically, it's another person. So you want... I get the sense that things are really calm right now, and that you're starting to talk again, and you're just starting to talk. If this is a new person, you're just starting to talk, and you're really hoping they're not dating anybody else, and they know what they want. Okay, there's lack of confusion, there's clarity here, because there's an interest on your part, and you would like to talk. You would like to... If this is somebody you've been with, which is a hunch, this is a this is a relationship you've been in for a while, Gemini, you are starting to... You're on an upswing in the relationship. You've kind of been through it with this person, and you're really hoping that this is the way it's shaping up to be now, because you've kind of had a go of it, shall we say. For some of you, this kind of feels like this would be a pattern for this person, and you're hoping that you're in a good place with this person now. It's almost like that this is coming again, but for right now, you're just hoping it's a good thing. And that's not going to resonate with everybody. It just feels like for some of you out there, you're just really hoping for this right now because you can't take any more of this. Okay. Okay, so take that for what it's worth. It just feels like you know that this person is capable of it, but right now things are really good and you really don't want any change and you're really hoping it'll stay there. Okay, and so what you don't want to be true again is you don't want them to go back to their old ways for some of you, like I just said, and go back to the cheating and to just be kind of like lost and just not happy with life. So they do these diversionary tactics with the cheating or indulging or the drinking or the partying or the, you know what I mean, that sort of thing. And it's like a roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down, because this is rapid movement right here. Okay. Or it could be that you don't want somebody to start texting like the emotional affair. Okay. This could be Pisces. But you don't want the communication to start up again with an old flame that they cheated on and that really messed with the relationship. Okay. If it's not that, it's that you want the focus to stay on you. If you just started talking to someone, you're hoping that they're not dealing with anybody else and that they know what they want. What is true is that this is a shake up. This is an upheaval of what you know to be steady and true. This is either a bolt of clarity or just a bolt out of the blue that it kind of levels everything. Okay, so let's see what that's about. What's this Tower about for Gemini? So we've got the Eight of Wands reversed here. We've got Knight of Cups. So we're afraid of change. We don't want this forward movement, and that's exactly what we're going to get. We're afraid of communication, or we not afraid, but we don't want communication from anybody else or for anybody else. But here we have a love offer, but then we've got no communication and no movement. Maybe that'll be clarified later. All right, so what you want to happen, you want an end to the fighting. You also don't want, if this is flirting, because this is playful fun, right? If this is flirting, you want an end to that. You don't want them to be occupied by anybody else. You really don't want them to start straying. You don't want anybody else involved. And this is about, okay, so that's why I said this earlier. I'm like, you're afraid of change. Wait a minute. No, this is about, no, this is what you don't want to happen. So you don't want, I could see this being like you don't want to be imprisoned. You don't want to feel trapped. But this is you don't want power reclaimed. You don't want freedom from this. You want the enmeshment, or you want the connection, or what you perceive to be the connection. It could also be that you don't want things to change in the sense that you don't want things to get spiced up. You don't want things to get shaken up. Okay, you don't want this Tower moment. This oftentimes like talks about if it's not disastrous, addiction or feeling trapped or imprisoned or unhealthy attachments. It's about shaking things up in the relationship in a healthy, fun way. This is you not wanting any kind of anything like that. So you don't want to be set free. You don't want to be detached. You don't want to break free. And there's an element of this being unhealthy because it is the devil. This also could be Capricorn. But you're not ready for this interaction or this relationship to end. You really want this person all to yourself. You really want just everything to calm down, any involvement with everybody else to stop, and you want this person all to yourself. It's almost unhealthy the way you covet this person. I mean, and that's not a judgment. That's just saying what is that it's looking like here. Five of Wands reversed. I could see that. That's the flirting. But what's this devil reversed about? Okay, so if it's not working, you want time given, but you don't want the breakup. If this isn't working, if there is a third-party situation, because we got third-party situation here, we got third-party situation here. So even if it is a third-party situation, you still don't want to break up. You'd rather give it time. You'd rather just step away and give time and let go. These are the people that stay married but don't get a divorce, but live separate lives, but just because of certain beliefs or whatnot, they still stay married. Same type of thing here, except for I think there's a love interest here. I don't think the passion is dead. I think it's very much alive. I think you're very into this person, and even if they are doing wrong by the relationship, if there's communication with other people or just that flirting, that whatever, you'd rather just go to your separate corners and take the time needed to think about things and give space and time rather than to break it off. Okay. All right, let's see what this Knight of Swords is about here, because this right here, this is weird. This is about no forward movement, no change, things happening very slowly, not moving. That's probably what, no change. No movement, no change, no forward, no shock, and yet this is a shock. This not going anywhere. Love the person, you want to stay there. No movement, not going anywhere. And yet, why the Tower? That's going to mess with me. Knight of Swords. What's the Knight of Swords say? There's a Knight of Swords there. Knight of Swords. All right. So this is very heavily on your mind. Is there a pregnancy involved here, Gemini? Do we have, or is that why we're thinking about this here? Is it some of you could be pregnancy or parenthood coming to the fore here? And it's really got you, all resources are going to thinking about this pregnancy. If it's not pregnancy, because if it is, you're thinking that things have to happen very quickly. So that kind of makes sense now. Because if we're talking about, going in there like, hey, I have news. That's the Swords, news, information, mental, all that will change everything. That will give an about face. That is, things need to happen, and they need to happen now. I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm really stressed out. We've got a baby on the way. Okay, it could be that. If it's not that, although it kind of would make sense if it is, let's be honest. But if it's not that, it's about you being just, all right, this has to, even though you're in a quandary about, and you're just like, this is driving me nuts, I have to come to a decision. This is you doing something in haste, or just being like, all right, I'm just going to take the reins here, and this is how it's going to be. And I've got to do this, that, and the other for my own sanity, for the sake of me being able to move forward independently, because this is driving me nuts. It's cause for anxiety here. I've got to make some decisions that are going to benefit me, because if this isn't going to change, if this flirting and this connections with other people and whatever, and always kind of the feelers being put out, and you not settling down and being emotionally open with me, but instead I still feel like I can't let go, I've got to do things to take care of myself. I've got to put myself first and survival first, and basically go on away, or see how my life could be without you. Because, and it'll be a rash decision, but it's going to be a rash decision. It's going to be just boom, boom, boom like this, because it's driving you crazy. It's a lot of anxiety for you. It's a lot of worry about what this person is doing, where they're at, who they're talking to. Are they going to this? Are they going to that type of thing. Now, this and this are complementary energies, in the sense that this is a major upheaval. This is a paradigm shift, all right, followed by this action, okay, at least for this reading. So we're looking at this. It's like there's no change. It's like they offer their love, but there's no change. And so we've got this Tower, which is like there's been a major upheaval, and yet there's this love offer. You're like, oh, yay, they offered, wow, things are going to change now. But then there's no forward movement. So are they toying with you? Are they just doing that to placate you? Because you caught them cheating? Is that what this is? Is that you caught them cheating? You caught this, them flirting or whatever. It's messing with the relationship. It's making it unstable. Everything's confusing. They're not happy. So is that why they're doing this? Is it because this is about finding things coming to light and then making more confusion, and also it not being happy? That, yeah, okay, I've got some clarity, but I'm still not happy, and I'm even more confused now. So is it that this has come to light, and to fix it, they've offered this cup of love, or you realize that you love them, and now you don't know what to do? You can't make a decision. There's no movement. There's no change. There's no progress. There's no anything, and you're just feeling stuck. And then all of a sudden you rebound and go, all right, this is what I need to do. It's going to kill me to do this, but I got it, because you're driving me crazy with this cheating and the flirting and the never being serious. And even though I feel this, I possibly might feel this unhealthy attachment to you, I've got to take care of myself. Unless we're talking about children. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, so we've got this issue here. And then it's like, well, it goes from this to like, oh, to all of a sudden, hey, we need to talk. Because I need to know what we're going to do about our child. Wow, heavy duty, Gemini, heavy duty. Okay, 2 scenarios there. And again, this is general, so I'm not reading for just one specific person. So there's a couple of scenarios that could be working here. All right, so what does Gemini need to know for the month of the Harsh Truth River? What does Gemini need? Okay, I pulled 2. The message, positive news, positive outcome. Yay. Winters and regeneration, rebirth, and positive outcome. Do you see that? Holy cow, do you see that? 18 and 8 are the numbers, but both of them speak to a positive outcome. Hello, there it is. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so, well, what will happen This to me also, because there's a lot of anxiety and stress here and wondering what the heck this person is doing. Now, understand that for positive outcome, this suggests an end to the confusion, to the drought, to the bitterness, the coldness, that sort of thing. This is about receiving information that could lead to basically is better news, is loving news, is offers reconnection, reconciliation, healing, all that sort of thing. Now, keep in mind, though, that with this situation, what would more likely make sense is that this happens, okay? That you take drastic changes because of all of the anxiety that this relationship is causing you. And I'm pretty sure we're talking about pregnancy here, but either way, that you take drastic action with or without a pregnancy because you just can't handle the instability of the relationship and not knowing what's going to happen and things being back and forth. And you decide to start off on your own, at least for the time being. As much as you don't want to leave, you're going to for self-preservation. So the positive outcome, the blessings, the positive news, the regeneration, the rebirth could be about you making your own way, reconnecting with yourself, the making your own good news, so to speak. Okay, this could be Taurus, this could be Aries, but it's about you. It could very well be about you making it so that you have a positive outcome, you making it so that good news comes your way because you're reconnecting with family and friends, you're networking as far as work, you're getting the job offers, that sort of thing. So it could be rebirth and regeneration and all of that without someone, okay? You on your own, because this speaks to fertility, creative, divine feminine, being in your power. This could be male or female, but it just speaks to having that flow in your life, that energy flow, the love, the abundance, the creative passion, all of that, okay? So it could be that all these blessings happen with you by yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that it would work out with this person, because if I'm looking at the energies here in the card and everything, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this person's kind of wishy-washy and they kind of do what they want and they appease you, and you're really into them, and you're really wanting them to be that grown-up King of Cups there who's compassionate and balanced, and the situation with them is passionate and balanced, but they're kind of, I don't know, it seems like they're kind of wishy-washy, or they're at least indecisive. At the very least, they're indecisive. Trilogy of Light. Okay, so this speaks to chakra alignment. So this speaks to, at least right now, what it said to me. So we've got the trilogy, right? We've got the source, the spirit, all right, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry. But this speaks to the Holy Trinity, the Holy Trilogy, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. If you're into that, there's also the other, I'm going to get myself in trouble here because I don't know the proper terminology. I'm just going to leave it alone. Whatever your trilogy source is, let's just leave it at that. This speaks to divine guidance, divine protection, connecting with that, and knowing that you are being watched over, that you are being protected, divinely guided. This also speaks to chakra, okay, or the chakras, and needing to bring balance, okay? So this has gotten you all kinds of twisted, okay? So you need to realign and rebalance and get centered, and that's what this is speaking to, is finding a way to, I don't want to say break free, because it feels like it's more of a decision and you just go your own way, and it's really, really good for you to do so. It's a very good decision. And in doing so, you regain and reestablish that balance, okay? And that this speaks to that, connecting to source and reestablishing balance. I mean, no disrespect by not knowing the other trilogies or trinities. I could barely remember the Western, so, but this does speak to, it was twofold for me, actually. Like 15 minutes. Yes, okay. I love it when there's synchronicity. It's like, it's very affirming. Okay, so what I say here about this is the same thing. This is creation and divine protection and guidance. It's kind of spooky the way he's looking at the baby. It's kind of like, what are you doing? But what it speaks to is that that we see the angel wings here, and then we see the emblazoned marks right here. This is about creation, like I said, about protection and divine guidance. Very well could be that some of you are pregnant, okay? Just saying. Know that whatever you decide to do, some of it is free will, obviously, but this speaks to things being predestined and design behind the scenes. And it also speaks to, once again, protection, guidance, and destiny. Okay, so we've got a couple of cards here about, I really honestly got, Gemini, I feel like your kid, your baby is on your mind, and you're going to go your own way, and it's going to be very positive for you, and you will be guided and protected behind the scenes. And that's a very, very short version of this, but just know that you will have the help and support you need. Whichever decision you make, you will be divinely supported. Okay, my gosh. Thank you for sticking with me this long. If you have, holy cow, this was a long one. I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.